What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link. We're going to look at XRP, Litecoin, and Digibyte. Those are 6 we're going to be going over today. I wanted to talk about how Bitcoin needs more volume to get over top of that $12,000. That's the key area. And what you can see is yesterday we had a bit of a tweezer top right up in this area. We pushed up twice, 2 days in a row. So it's so important for us to get up over top of that today, because if we see another day of rejection there, that may show us that we need to cool down, back test some of these areas and see if we find support. So it's getting to some of those critical areas right now, and I wanted to put that on your radar. But first of all, I want to start out with this. This is from a book that I've been reading here. It's by Ed Downs, and what he wrote, because this is so true when people ask me, why do you just use technical analysis? Basically what he says here is chart patterns form because people react to price movements in consistent ways based mostly on fear, greed, and herd mentality. And that is so true. You can see it driven in the price over and over and over. And these things happen and they repeat themselves over and over and over. Support, resistance, trend lines, candlesticks, wicks. If you can learn this type of stuff, volume with these things, it can help you so immensely in this space, guys. And I'm not here to give you fluff. I'm here to truly try to help you so that you don't make some of the mistakes that I made when I got in early 2017. You know, I've tried to learn from this stuff, and I want to share with people the best that I can. So really try to learn this stuff for yourself. You know, I can try to feed you a fish for a day, but you want to be able to learn how to fish for yourself in terms of technical analysis and these charts so that you can do it for a lifetime. Whether you're tracking gold, silver, cryptos, corn, whatever, you can buy, sell, trade it, and be able to look at these charts and know what's going on. So I think that's very important by Ed Downs there. That's a great thing to always realize, that this herd mentality, you know, the fear, the greed, that's why these pumps go so hard up, because of the greed and the fear. We can get dumped so hard because of that fear. So you really need to keep your emotions checked in this space, guys. So we're going to dig into all 6 of these coins now. If you get some from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. We're trying for 300 likes on this video. If you like what we do here, don't forget to smash that like button for me. Appreciate it, guys. So what we're looking at here, this is on the 1-day time frame. So out of our symmetrical triangle that we've been dealing with, we broke right through, clean through 10,562. That was my area. On the flash crash, we back tested it. This right here is on the 1-hour time frame. This is the trend line that I'm paying attention to, that I want to stay up above. But today, why I say it's so critical is because these are 2 areas right here, back-to-back days, that we pushed up roughly to about 11,934, and we could not get over top of that. So if we have another day of failure, that's going to show to the market that we need to cool back down more. We need to come back to some lower areas and see if we have support there. That's typically what happens, so that we can then therefore try to make it back up over top of that 11,900. We'll just call it $12,000 that we need to get over top of. That 12,140 is actually my area where we wicked up to, that we need to get up through. And what that's going to take is volume and strength to push us up through there. Right? So that's why I don't want another day, because we've had this long wick, then we had basically tweezer tops, and then if we have another day of rejection here, I believe that's going to show the market that we need to retrace either back onto this 15 or even back to this 30, right around that 10,562, and see if we really hold that as support, as opposed to just a little flash crash wick back to it. So this is still an area that you want to be careful right now, guys. If you're a long-term investor or you're playing these swings, this is where you still want to continue to stay in these positions. According to all the books that I read, you know, if you're going by the daily chart like this, we're up above the 15, the 30, the 60. That's where you want to sit in this position, even if the market continues to cool down. As long as we're staying up above key areas, you want to sit and wait for that next impulse wave to the upside. Short-term traders, I know with these longer wicks up here and these tweezer tops, people have been taking their profits, and we've had some heavier selling volume in those areas there. So I want you to be aware of that. Okay, so that's going to be Bitcoin, guys. If you get some from that, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to move into Ethereum next. And it's nice to see ETH cool down just a little bit. But Ethereum still, I mean, we've been so powerful, guys. We're up above our 15, we're up above our 30, up above our 60, looking good. We're still holding 332 as support. That's the main area of support that I'm looking at for Ethereum right now. If we did go below that, then it'd be around 285, but roughly right now that 332 is kind of the area that I'm looking at right now to see if we can continuously stay up above that. We had longer wicks up in this area on higher volume, so people were taking their profits. You can see we almost back tested this 15. We got up to our target of $417. So right now we're going to see in the days to come if we're going to need more of a deeper retracement to that 332, if we're just going to move sideways, because right now I'm not seeing heavy enough volume to get us up over top of the previous highs that we've been to. If we get into relative strength index right now, and you can see we're also making the lower highs up in that area with the longer wicks here. So this is kind of showing us that we may need to consolidate a little bit before we can go back up there and test that $417. RSI is still overextended at that 73. Typically what I like to do in the crypto space when we really get overextended, I like to wait till we get into the early 90s to start taking my profits with some type like over here. Do you see candlestick formations? The wicks up here, our RSI got all the way up to about that 80 range, and then we had a big sell-off. So that's typically what I like to do. I like to let that RSI really get overextended because in the cryptocurrency space that happens a lot. Now, if we're examining the candles here, say this was our lower high that we're going to put in, this would basically, if we closed right here today, this would be like a bullish piercing pattern. And what we'd want to do is continue to hold this as a higher low so that we can come up here and get over top of that $400 psychologically. But we're going to have to wait to see where this candle closes today. Candle closes are very important. If we have a super long wick, that's going to show rejection, and then I bet we'll start heading a little bit lower and see if we can find some support there. So that's going to be Ethereum, guys. Really watch those areas right now. They're going to be very important for Ethereum. Next, we're going to move into Link. Link's been just blasting off, guys. Really powerful moves here. So Link, we're still in a blue sky breakout basically here. We have no overhead resistance. We have broken through our previous overhead resistance. That's where we had the tweezer tops here. We're at $8.92. So that's what we're going to want to turn into support. So we're going to turn the red into green. This is going to be the area that we want to hold if we do start retracing. Now, in terms of the upside, if we can continue to get volume, this can run as high as it wants to run because we don't have any overhead resistance, and that's why they call it a blue sky breakout, which is pretty cool there. I did want to point out the fact, because this is taking place here, our price was around $9. Our RSI was up around about 85. Now you can see we have a much higher price at about 1081 there, and our RSI is at 75. So we have had the negative divergence, but it is catching up a little bit here. But we need to see a big increase in volume. You can see our volume average line right here, and we're not up to it yet today. We want to continue to see that swelling volume if this is going to continue to move hard. But like I said, the first area I'd look at for support is going to be $8.92, and it'd be down here around that $6.59 if we do get a nice cool off retracement. Okay, so that's Link, but that's doing really well, guys. You know, if you're in a long-term position there, just let that baby run. Let it keep rolling. Okay, so the next one we're going to get into is XRP. XRP sitting right around that 30-cent range. So with XRP, you can see a lot of wicks, same deal up in this area. And what I like to do is measure wicks. Typically, if the wick's about 2 to 3%, you're going to get a decent sell-off, and it's going to start retracing. Typically back to that 0.382 is a common area. And right there's about a 5% wick up in this area. And that kind of showed that selling pressure that was coming here. Okay, so now the key is, are we going to move sideways before we come back up here and try to get over top of that 31 cents and challenge 34 cents? Or are we going to pull back onto this 15 moving average here? And that's going to be at about 0.26866 is going to be the area. And then it'd be down around this 30, which is also a common retracement area. You see, after we pump, many times we'll come back to that 30 as well if we get a deeper retracement. And that would put us around 25 cents is going to be the area. We've got our green cross here of our 30 over top of our 60, so that's a really good thing. RSI is about 76 now, but it is pointing down, losing a little bit of strength there, so we need to be aware of that. But I would be patient. You know, if you're a long-term investor, same deal with XRP. That's where you want to continue to sit in these positions. You know, you're a shorter-term trader. I'm sure if you saw a lot of these wicks and this rejection up here on some heavier volume, you're probably taking your profits. But those are the areas that I'm going to look at for XRP. We're just going to see what happens over the next couple days, starting to get a short day candle today. So some fight between the bulls and the bears there. And if you're here for XRP, let me know down low so I can keep it in here with us. If not, then we'll throw in another coin, and then we'll move into Litecoin next. See what we got happening for Litecoin. Litecoin's at $58.25. It has pulled back onto our 15 EMA right there. So I do think that's important that we are back to that area, and we hold that as support, and that's going to be at about 56.34 was the area we back tested. Then it's going to be our 30 at about 51.72. We look for support. Then down there around 49.19 are going to be the areas of support that I'm looking at. Overhead resistance, you can see we've had a lot of wicks up here. So we have longer wicks. We have had some profit taking longer wick up here when we hit our target of that 63.75. We hit it, we tapped it, we could not hold it. So that's going to be the next area we need to get up over top of and turn into support. RSI is at 63, so it's nice to see that it has calmed down. We are putting in lower highs right now, but it's nice to see that it's getting back down into some areas where we can get a nice pump again when we're ready to pump. So what I'm watching for now is to see what we do with this moving average and what we do with this candle today, along with that volume, if this is going to be the area where we find support and make that next kick up. If we get into trading view, we have a 3 sell, 10 neutral, 15 buy. Oscillators about dead neutral there, 1 sell, 9 neutral, and a 1 buy. Moving average is looking strong there for the longer term. So just realize we are losing a little bit of strength there. We're going to have to see what we do off these moving averages, what type of candlestick formation. We're going to end up getting a little bit of a shorter day candle today is what we're looking at there. So that's Litecoin, and then we'll get into Digibyte. And guys, all through TradingView, I've really been trying to find a good Digibyte chart with a lot of information. I just have not been able to find one in all these that I've went through. So we're going to stick with Bittrex here. We have had a little bit longer of a wick up top. You can see there it's about 5%. So we do want to be aware of that. Came on some heavier volume. So just be aware of that. I wanted to put that out there. Out of our symmetrical triangle, we've broken out. We back tested. We're up above our 15, our 30, our 60. Still up above this bottom trend line. So that's looking good. RSI is at 63. So we do have more room if we want to make this pop. I just wanted you to be aware of this longer wick from yesterday. It was almost like a rickshaw man doji here. So sometimes that can give you a warning that we may need to cool back down again. So main support area I'd look at is about 0.02407. We're going to want to stay up above. Overhead resistance, we need to get up above 0.02905 is what we're going to be looking at there. If we get into trading view, 2 sell, 9 neutral, 17 buy. Oscillators, 1 sell, 8 neutral, 2 buy. Moving averages looking strong there. So guys, if you're here for Digibyte, let me know down low. I want to continue to do that for you. Give me those thumbs up. Appreciate you being here with me today. God bless each and every one of you, and watch these areas.